heavyweight newcomer, and which is Alexandre Usyk. And he then defeated Jermaine Franklin by unanimous decisions. But his performance was considered underwhelming by many. Looking to make a statement in his next fight, he struck up an agreement to fight notable former heavyweight champion, which is Dillian Whyte. Joshua was originally due to boss Dillian Whyte at the 02 Arena tomorrow, only for Whyte to be pulled from the card. Of course, we have is returning now to take another competition from Dillian Whyte. This is going to happen at 02 Arena, and in much time we're still going to give you details based on Joshua competition. But Helenius 39 was stopped in the first round by Deontay Wilder. That was last year. However, he won a comeback fight when he altered Mika Milonin last Saturday, and moments afterwards put himself forward as Whyte's replacement. This is not the first time Joshua has to face late replacements in his career. He beat Carlos Takam when the Bulgarian stepped in for Kubrat Pulev, and lost to Andy Ruiz when he replaced Jarrell Miller after American failed a drug test. Let's go on to bringing you more news we have, and this one is coming from IHF Women's Trophy Africa. That's the Nigerian through to final after Rwanda win. The under 18 girls handball team have secured 10th successive victory in the ongoing IHF Women's Trophy African Continental Phase going on in Abidjan right now, Cote d'Ivoire, following a 38-30 win over Rwanda. And Shitu Adewumin Abola, tutor the Lasses, had beaten Guinea 30-25. That's 30-25 points. And Madagascar 54-17 points in their earlier played 2 games. They have maintained 100% record since the tournament started. The national under-18 girls team expected a tough encounter against Rwanda, and it showed in the first half, where the Nigerian ended their opponent with a narrow 18-15 score after an end-to-end fantastic game of handball from the both sides. But meanwhile, it's very interesting because the second half saw some technical change, and Nigeria were more purposeful in defense as they won the half 2015 to ensure a 38-30 victory. That's what we have for you in our football segment, in our handball segment. Nigerians Prudence Onyinye Samuel was named the most valuable player of the match. If you were able to watch, you will see that Prudence has proved herself creditably when it comes to handball sports. Nigeria will play in the final, most likely against Guinea, and that will be today exactly at 3 p.m. So it will be an interesting match. Handball is one of the sports, and you are going to enjoy it more than other sports if you are a lover of handball sports. All right, let's move quickly over to World Athletics, yet to clear Amusan for Budapest 2023. There was a story concerning Amusan, and talking about his physicality and technicalities when it comes to getting himself ready for this particular tournament. We have some news, we have some things, according to some critics, they are making one kind of, will I call it, I would call it a conspiracy, but I'm here to clear you out, give you what you're supposed to know about Amusan clearance. Tobi Amusan's chances of competing at Budapest 2023 World Champions in Hungary still stands in the balance, as the World Athletics running body yesterday released entries for the event. Amusan was recently provisionally suspended by the Athletics Integrity Unit, AIU, for missing 3 out of competition tests, OCT. Why her case will be decided by the disciplinary tribunal before the kickoff of this World Champions next week. Nigeria is even expected to compete in 11 events, with Ishekiri leading to men's sprint team that includes Ashley Favor, Seye Ogunlewa, Alaba Akintola, Fakorede Adekolu, and of course we have Carlington and Nunaba, that place. Men's spirit team is expected to compete in 100 meters and 4x400 meters relay race. Akintola is the sole representative in the 200 meters, while Dubem Nwachukwu 400 meters and Nathaniel Ezekiel 400 meters hurdles made the cut. 4x400 meters mixed relay team as Chidi Okezie, Samuel Ogazi, Nwachukwu and Ezekiel and Enekwechi will also, complete the men's list. This is how we're going to take it. They are representing Nigeria as our country. And women's team, we have someone like Chokoma Rosemary, Ophili Febo, Nyekbo Bayan, Justina Okose, Faith, and Umukoro Sussex. These are the people that will be going to compete in the 100 meters and likewise 4x100 meters event. Ofli and Oko in Mabonyen Nse will compete in 200 meters and 400 meters consecutively. Events we still have other people that are going to represent Nigeria. We're talking about George Patience Okon Nse. Of course, we have Oke Opeyemi Deborah and Onojo Bewoya Ella, who will represent Nigeria in the 4x400 relay race. For the 4x400 miss relay, Okon Nse and of course Ella will team up with their male counterparts in the event. This is going to be a dagger's drum, because I know that when it comes to race and other things we have in sports, it's something that you cannot go if you are not, eligible enough. I'm talking of the physical fitness and otherwise. Let's go over to football segment where we have 2024 AFCON 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Super Eagles return to Godswill Akpabio Stadium. Of course, you might be, contemplating what actually happened at Melbourne, where the women of England took on Super Falcons. For me, I have to say that that's football for you. In the end of everything, there must be a winner. So take heart and continue with other things we have. And that's why I'm bringing you news about our male football team, Super Eagles. They return to Godswill Akpabio Stadium for their upcoming event and training as well. The next 6 international matches of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, beginning with the 2024 African Cup of Nations qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe on September 10, 2023, as well as the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, will take place at Godswill Akpabio. That would be that's the stadium in Uyo, and of course the Akwa Ibom state capital. The president of Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, Alhaji Ibrahim Gassau, stated this when he paid a courtesy on the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umeno, at Government House Uyo yesterday, while thanking the government for its previous support to the team. Of course, Gassau added that the winning record as well as the conducive environment in the states informed the decision of the country's football body to choose Uyo as the host city. And going down, accompanied by the South representative on the FF board, Otokong Nse Asian, and some state FA chairman, including the chairman of Akwa Ibom Football Association Normalization Committee, Prince Bonny Young, as well as other stakeholders. Gusto said that he was in the state to solicit the support and as well cooperation of the state government with regard to the hosting of these matches, as announced that this will happen as soon as possible. But when it comes to Super Eagles, I don't know whether you are with me, whether they are going to perform creditably as our Super Falcons, because if you look at them, you see the doggedness and of course what I have to say, the technicality of the Super Falcons, how they displayed that on this ongoing Women's World Cup. I don't know whether Super Eagles will still, prove their mettle when it comes to this cup we are talking about, when it comes to this title or tournament that is upcoming. But I have to give you in details of what actually happened between the president of NFF and the governor of Uyo. in his response, of course, the NFF president of the government and the government of Uyo and people of the state stated that the best way to do is to do this sport of a thing is to have a partnership. When I'm talking of partnership, I mean the best way to organize a team. When you have this partnership and backup or the necessary support, you are going to move on with everything you have. So in response to the support from the NFF president, Governor Umeno assured the NFF president of the support and cooperation of the government and people of the state and stated that the next of champions is an internationally acclaimed stadium whose maintenance contract with construction giant Julius Berger, he was recently renewed. You know, I have to say kudos to him for knowing the importance of sports and the uniting factor that it has. Also in attendance were Akwa Ibom State Honorable Commissioner for Youth Development and Sports, Samonde Uko, the chairman of Akwa Ibom United Football Club, Elder Paul Bassi, and members of Akwa Ibom State Football Association Normalization Committee. Right now, let's move on to giving you the updates of our brother. I call him our brother, and this is one of the key players we have in Super Eagles. I'm talking about Napoli striker Osimhen. Nigerian Victor Osimhen is busy with his injury rehabilitation, according to his Italian club Napoli. The reigning Serie A champions trained at the Tifoli's Pratini Stadium in Castel di Sangro, Italy, where Osimhen was a noticeable absentee. You know, the 25-year-old striker is currently nursing an ankle-related injury, and Cameroonian midfielder Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa is also in Napoli's injury list. If they are having this injury, now who will now play the ball? That's my question. You know, 13 days of work for Napoli at the Tofilio Pratini Stadium in Castel di Sangro. This is where their tournament takes place. The team started the session with a phase dedicated to activation and ball possession, a statement read. Subsequently, the squad split into two groups that alternately carried out specific defense and attack work, closing on the section with a short field match. Of course, I am to tell you, it might interest you to know that Anguissa did therapy and personalized training at the gym therapy for Osimhen. It is unclear whether the African duo will be available for selection when Napoli start their defense of the Serie A title with a clash against another club, which is called Frosinone, on August 19th. You know, let's talk about, before we round it up on today's sports today on ABS TV, let's give you more details on Brentford tied down with Super Eagles. Nigerian international Frank Onyeka has signed a new deal, which is a 4-year contract with English Premier League outfits, the Brentford FC. And the Bees have the option to extend the contract by 12 months with the defensive midfielder having been rewarded for his consistency for the team. Onyeka, who has 12 caps for the Super Eagles, has made 41 Premier League appearances since signing for the West Londoners in 2021. Brentford head coach Thomas Frank was pleased to see the former Michelin star extend his stay at the club. Onyeka and his Brentford teammates are set to face Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday in what will be their opening Premier League game of the 2023-2024 season. I think this will be a dagger's drum, but my question is, which club do you think will be a stumbling block in this year's Premier League? Because I know that last year's league was it was a dagger's drum. You know, they say that when two elephants fight, it's only the grass that will suffer it the most. But I don't know. Some club like one club like Southampton is one club that I know that though they perform creditably, but I don't know their update for now in terms of how they are going to prove themselves in this Premier League of this season. Let me give you the final news we have for you today, talking about UFC 293, Israel Adesanya to defend midweight title against Sean Strickland in Sydney. And Israel Adesanya will defend his middleweight title against Sean Strickland at UFC 293 in Sydney, Australia on 10th September. Adesanya, 34, last fought in April, beating long-term rival Alex Pereira to regain the belt he had lost 5 months earlier. But that's another effort from Adesanya. The Nigerian-born New Zealander was set to fight Dricus de Plessis next, but the South African is injured. Right now, American Strickland 32 will be competing in his first UFC title fight. He stepped up on a division on short notice to beat Nasruddin Imavov in January before knocking out one of his rivals, which is Abusupin Magomedov in July. Meanwhile, this will be, I don't know what to say, but I give it to him to prove his mettle. This is what we expect from any African representative that we have, whether from Nigeria, whether from Mali, whether from any other African countries. What I wish for them is for them to go there and perform very well. And this is where we draw the curtain on today's sports updates on ABS TV. I am Anthony Ugochukwu, saying that next week will be another interesting episode. And from today, just have it for me, just hold it. This is my final, slogan, and I say that football or sports is the only thing that unites the world. Let us promote and make sure that we perform and contribute our quota to sustaining sports. From here, from our sporting desk this morning, I say bye for now till next week when we bring you another update in today's soccer.